Hello, Mrs. Moore. I finished both self-assessments, so I'm just going to jump right into comparing and contrasting. First of all, I'm going to talk about the one in the textbook. I liked this self-assessment. I, I feel like it covered a pretty wide variety of like skills and how they can apply to being a successful manager or not. And I really felt like it allowed you to um, evaluate yourself pretty in depth or in an in depth way. Um, the other one, the one that we did online, I felt like the survey was a little too cut and dry. It kind of presented you with two opposing situations, and it pretty much gave you this one way to approach the situation and then this other way. And I felt like sometimes a certain situation might call for this approach, and another situation might call for this approach. I feel like since situations change based on the resources you have to work with, the amount of time you have to work with, there's a lot of different variables when it comes to different problems and different situations. So I feel like you'll approach them in a different way. And like I said, this survey was a little cut and dry for that. But I feel like the surveys pretty much gave me the same result. For the online survey, I got the INTP personality type, which is the thinker. The I stands for introverted. The N is for intuitive. Um, the T is thinking, and then the P is perceiving. So like I said, I feel like this personality type uh, fits me, and I feel like what from my own self-evaluation with the self-assessment in the textbook, I felt like I got kind of the same, kind of came to the same conclusions. Um, I wrote down that I think I have like good communication skills. I feel like I could really talk to my employees well. And this says, like for introversion, it kind of says like you can prefer to socialize with a small group of close friends. It's kind of the same thing. If you're working with like your employees, you don't necessarily have to think of them as friends, but it's like your group, and you can communicate with them well, and kind of get some feedback and kind of tell them what they need to do and stuff like that. Um, Also talked about like focusing on the big picture, which I think you need to focus on like smaller details as well. Just make sure everything's running smoothly, but thinking about the big picture is obviously a very good thing to do as well. And just like the logical and like base decisions, things like that, I felt like fit in with what I got from my own self evaluation. Um, like I talked about boosting efficiency and my leadership skills, which I think really comes in with like perceiving and the thinking aspect of the INTP personality type. Um, so even though I liked the textbook self assessment better than the online self assessment, I still, like I said, felt like I arrived at the same conclusion. As for how this will affect my career decisions, I feel like this can really help you understand yourself better, and that can really help you going forward making decisions. It's helpful to remember these things and kind of like what you think of yourself and of your strengths and weaknesses, because that'll help you, like I said, make decisions in your career, whether that's um, when you're faced with a problem, how you tackle said problem, or how you go about managing the employees under you, if you get to that position, things like that. So, yeah, I feel like just to kind of sum everything up, I liked the textbook self assessment as well as the online one. I got a personality type that I feel like fits me, and I feel like knowing that it really solidifies the way I think about myself, and moving forward, I can really apply that to a lot of decisions that I make, not just like in a job, but just at school and in other things as well. So I liked both of them, and I felt like it was a helpful thing to do. And yeah, thank you.